And I'm glad to continue with your open lectures, the chance for the students who are not studying with this person, with this professor, to encounter him and ask questions. Alain Badiou. You have heard him already, philosopher like a rock, you know. One of the few people like a rock, you know what it is? Very strong, big guy.
Yes.
Still fighting for the tradition of philosophy, and everybody abandoned Plato, abandoned Paul, abandoned the history of philosophy. He was there and said, no way, we need this. How can he say this? Because he was at the same time with all these deconstructivists, with all the people questioning, following Heidegger, the history of philosophy, and he was their student, their friends, their opponent. So he is not ignorant, he is not naive, and he is still fighting for something like truth.
Yes.
He's still on the side of Plato, with a little smile certainly, but on the side of Plato. So I'm very glad to have a chance here to hear his version of philosophy and to have it give you the opportunity to ask him, to attack him, and to think with him, because thinking, that is what we all have in common. Whatever is the result of thinking, that we think should be our battle cry. Let's think with Alain Badiou.
Our epoch is most certainly the epoch of a rupture with all that Philippe Lacoue-Labarthe has shown to depend on the motif of mimesis. One of the forms of this motif, which explicitly attaches the truth to imitation, is to conceive truth as a relation of appropriateness between the intellect and the thing intellected. A relation of adequation which always supposes, as Heidegger very well perceived, that the truth be localizable in the form of a proposition. Modern philosophy is a criticism of truth as adequation. Truth is not adequatio rei et intellectus. Truth is not limited to the form of judgment. Hegel shows that truth is a path. Heidegger suggests that it is an historic destiny. I will start from the following idea. A truth is, first of all, something new. What transmits, what repeats, we shall call knowledge. Distinguishing truth from knowledge is essential. It is a distinction which is already made in the work of Kant, the distinction finally between reason and understanding, and it is, as you know, a capital distinction for Heidegger. Finally, the distinction between truth, properly, aletheia, and cognition or science, techne. But aletheia is properly always a beginning, and techne is always a continuation or an application or a repetition. It is the reason for which the great poet, Heidegger said, the poet of truth is always the poet of a sort of mourning of the world. I quote Heidegger, "The poet always speaks as if the being was expressed for the first time." If all truth is something new, what is the essential philosophic problem pertaining to truth? It is the problem of its appearance and its becoming. A truth must be submitted to thought, not as a judgment, not as a proposition, but as a process in the real. The schema you have represents the becoming of a truth. The aim of my talk is only to explain the schema. For the process of a truth to begin, something must happen. What there already is, the situation of knowledge as such, only gives us a repetition. For a truth to affirm its newness, there must be a supplement. This supplement is committed to chance. It is unpredictable, incalculable. It is beyond what it is. I call it an event. A truth appears in its newness because an eventful supplement interrupts repetition. Examples: the appearance with Aeschylus of theatrical tragedy, the irruption with Galileo of mathematical physics, an amorous encounter which changes a whole life, or the French Revolution of 1792. An event is linked to the notion of the undecidable. Take the sentence, "This event belongs to the situation." If you can, using the rules of established knowledge, decide that this sentence is true or false, the event will not be an event. It will be calculable within the situation. Nothing permits us to say, "Here begins the truth." A wager will have to be made. This is why a truth begins with an axiom of truth. It begins with a decision. The decision to say that the event has taken place.